You're listening to the Water Cooler Edits with Chris and Rich.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Water Cooler Edit with my Bayut. And I'm Chris as always, and with me is Rich. He's finally returned, and guess what? He only has 1 day left of vacation and I have more than him, so I'm going to throw him in the deep end later this year. On this episode of the podcast though, we'll be talking about the new mask rule, because guess what? You don't have to wear one anymore inside, only in select locations. There's been some updates to the family laws here in the United Arab Emirates. And with the weather getting cooler, that means Global Village is about to reopen. Rich, how are you faring now with no masks?
I'm faring pretty well, actually. I have to say, look, we all know why the masks were here, why we had to wear them. It made sense. But I am not someone that's going to miss the mask. I think, will anyone miss them? I doubt it. It was a wonderful feeling to finally take off the mask in the office environment. And I think, it was just, especially me wearing glasses. You don't wear glasses, do you?
No.
You haven't just taken them off for the podcast, just in general, you don't wear glasses?
I mean, I wear sunglasses, and honestly, it did hamper me wearing sunglasses, especially while driving.
Yeah, but it's steam up. Whenever I was talking with the mask on, it was steam up, couldn't see anything, nightmare. So yeah, happy days. I'm very, very pleased that they are gone, but they haven't gone everywhere, have they?
No, they haven't, because you still have to wear them in public transport, places of worship, and hospitals as well. This is obviously to maintain the safety of everyone around you.
I started this job during the pandemic and started here at Bayut, and obviously the mask rule was already in place. So a lot of my colleagues I got to know basically through their eyes, because I never saw them.
Well, we started 1 week apart. You started the week after me, and we both, I'm always wearing a mask, except in all the videos and obviously the podcast, and I know exactly what you mean. It's weird to see people's faces. You don't recognise people.
Yeah, this is the thing, because it was the first time I'd met these people. You got to know them, but you got to know them through their eyes. They would take their mask off, and you'd be like, "Who are you?"
Ew. It's I agree with you. It's kind of weird seeing people without a face mask.
Yeah, it's when you've built that relationship with their eyes, suddenly you see the rest of their face. It's like, whoa, that's what you actually look like.
Yeah.
Great.
It is rather bizarre.
Strange times, huh? Strange times.
It certainly is, and I flew to Saudi a couple of weeks ago, and it was mask-free everywhere there, and I actually found it quite weird. I was actually told when I arrived that I didn't have to wear a mask. I got off the plane, wore my mask, got all the way to the hotel. I met the people that I was with there, and they said, "Well, why are you wearing a mask?" I said, "Don't I have to?" They said, "No, you don't need to wear it." And I said, "Oh, okay, cool. Didn't wear a mask the whole time I was in Saudi."
Yeah, same in the States. When I was staying in Nashville, we were going to gigs, whatever. There was no masks. Didn't even, no hint of a mask.
It was kind of bizarre though. But again, it's what life used to be like, isn't it? We're slowly transitioning, and obviously with the everything changing at a rapid pace, and obviously COVID now kind of being, what's the words I'm looking for here? Contained.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
And obviously we've advanced a lot technologically and in the health industry, that it's no longer a huge issue anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is really, it's a positive thing, right? I think that's the thing we should take away from the masks rules being relaxed, is that in general that mirrors what's going on with COVID, and it means it's moving from gradually being a pandemic to an endemic? Is it an endemic? Is that the one down? I think it is. I think it's headed in that direction. So look, we should be pleased about that, right? It's been, almost 3 years. So normality is returning.
Normality has returned.
Yeah, I guess. As normal can be.
Yeah. Speaking of changes, there's been a new update to the family laws here in the United Arab Emirates, which makes co-inhabitants and co-occupancy now a little different. Now, obviously, we're not saying it's drastically different, but there have been some updates that will help you, and it will help homeowners, home renters, real estate agents, and everybody in between as well, specifically as well the government, so they know about who is living where at any given time. This is obviously for safety reasons. Now, the rule change, I'll be honest, when I first heard about it, I was a little confused about what this exactly is. Do I have to do it because obviously my mum and I, we live together, and we have people intermittently in the house. Some stay for longer periods of time than others. Do we have to register those people? No. It is only for people that live with you in a long-term basis. I think it's longer than, say, a month or so. Yep. But what exactly are these new rules?
You can now have unrelated people living together as flatmates in rented or owned properties. which is great. But what you need now is to have those people registered on the Ajari for that property. It's a very, very simple process. It can be done through the Dubai REST app, REST. But look, we have a post, an article on the blog. So it's a very simplified, seamless article. It just goes step-by-step process on how you can do this registering of the people who live at your property should you need to do it, right? But the rules, they are changing, huh?
Well, that makes life now slightly easier to live with friends or people that you want to share a room with, essentially, here, which we know obviously a lot of people do. And obviously this helps from a safety aspect, because then obviously the landlords, in case of any issues with, say, the buildings or apartments, they know who is living in the facility, essentially. Now, the weather is getting cooler. It is, let's say, degree by degree. It seems like it takes a little bit longer. I'll be honest, I still have the AC on at home because it still feels like it's a little hot sometimes. But
yeah, we're down to a chilly 38.
Which is still shorts weather, essentially, at least for me. I'm not putting the sweater on yet. Now, obviously, with the cooler weather imminent, or even here already, as we've already said, that means Global Village will be reopening soon for season 27. Now, that seems like an incredibly long time, because it is. And for anybody who's lived here for a very long time and is an expat like myself, you'll remember the good old days when it was at the Creek Park. And I still stand by it. That was when Global Village was the best.
You're saying that was the classic time?
The OG, the original classic.
I've got to be honest.
We need a throwback for Global Village. It needs to go back to Creek Park.
I think that's unlikely, I've got to be honest, after the money they've spent on the current iteration. But you never know, right? Maybe an expansion. Maybe an expansion into Creek Park. I didn't even know it was. You until you said that, I had no idea it was at Creek Park previously.
I'm showing how long I've been here.
Yeah, you probably are. Yates, when was that? The late 80s? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, 5 years younger than I am. So that was around in the late 90s, not the mid to early ones. Yes.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So there you go. So it was at Creek Park, but now it's been in its current venue for however many years. Look, we all know how ridiculously popular it is, with good reason. People love it, right? And there's a few new features this year. Do you want to hear about them?
I know one of them, but I don't know if it's going to open on time.
All right, go on, hit me. Which one do you know?
The petrol station out the front.
Where
the long queue is.
Yeah, that's the big one they're selling, actually.
Is it?
Yeah. They're saying, no, obviously not. Why would Why? They
had me on a string there.
They've got a balloon ride that goes up 200 foot, and it's called, imagination here is quite cynic, but it's called the Big Balloon Ride. But it goes up 200 foot. It's big and it's a balloon.
Okay.
So there you go. Nailed it with that one. So it goes 200 foot up in the air. They could advertise that, but what they're actually advertising is the petrol station out the front.
They're not, are they? Don't do this to me.
No, they're not.
It's there for convenience, right? Because there's always a lot of traffic going in there because people go mad for Global Village. I myself, I've been once. I've been persuaded to go a number of times, actually. And I've got to say, there are some parts of it that I really enjoyed. Like, I loved the carnival aspect of it, with all the games, with all the rides and attractions. I love that part of it because we don't have a lot of that here. Mm-hmm. And the Global Village is there. The one thing I didn't like was the traffic. And then I always had this thought running in my mind, I'm going to run out of petrol. There is one at the exit, but there isn't one on the entrance. Now they're building one that's on the entrance. So that's why I thought the biggest attraction would be the petrol station.
Nice, there you go. Yeah, well, look, it's a useful addition. I think we can say. They've also got the Road to Asia, which is a new road. It's like an avenue with kiosks from 13 different countries. That's new for this year. They've also got, which I don't know Global Village particularly well, but they have a new gate, right? Yes. Apparently previously there was two gates. The cultural gate, and refers to notes, the gate of the world. Right?
Okay.
So the culture, and now apparently there's a third gate which is going to make access a lot easier, and for various reasons, and where it's situated, etc., called the Happiness Gate, which I personally think is a great name, and I'm not even being sarcastic. I like that, the Happiness Gate.
Oh, happiness. Okay, I thought you said something else.
Yeah, so you go through it, you immediately become happy.
So who's the gatekeeper?
The gatekeeper It's Rick Moranis from Ghostbusters. Do you know Ghostbusters? Please
Also,
say
the
yes.
Ghostbusters. They had a wicked Cadillac in it, and there's that thing that I aspire to be that went through the walls eating food and sliming.
Oh,
all over the
Slimer.
place. Yeah, Slimer. There you go.
Yeah. So no, so I don't know who the gatekeeper is, but it's the happiness gate. So it's good. Everyone goes through there immediately happy. It's good they didn't call it the sadness gate.
That's when you exit because you're leaving Global Village. Aren't
Yeah,
you?
then you start
You're sad
crying.
until you come back.
Yeah.
And then you enter back through the happiness one, and you're happy
And
again.
you're like, woohoo, and then you leave.
Yeah, exactly. Heartbreaking.
But yeah, so look, great stuff. It's back. They extended the season last year through to end of May, I think they did in the end. So it'll be interesting to see if that repeats itself this year. But yeah, so Global Village, amongst many other things, Miracle Garden is back open, another popular one. The Glow Park will be back imminently. So there's fun stuff's coming, Chris.
There's all these places that I'm just not going to go to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is it. But you should do. See, this is what you should do.
Yes, because there's a petrol station outside now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly the reason you should go, because there's a petrol station outside.
Yes, I can't wait for the petrol station to reopen. That's going to be my highlight of Global Village when that petrol station opens.
That's it.
Ta-da!
You'll be there for the grand opening.
100% I'll be there for the grand opening.
Nice.
Probably have some ads there too. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Water Cooler Edit with My Bayut. And of course, if you want to check out any of the things that we discussed, or you want to learn more about them, you can check them out on My Bayut. That's Bayut.com/My Bayut. You can see all of the wonderful articles that's written by Rich and his team. That's it for now, and I'll see you at the Global Village petrol station when it opens.
You're listening to the Water Cooler Edit with Chris and Rich.